Hello, and welcome to Reserve Inspirations Feybies Recovery Service, LLC, a short mini series that we have branching off of our main campaign. We have a couple new faces along with Sarah. So I'm going to do a quick introduction. We're not going to introduce characters yet because we'll do that once we get right into the game. But if we want to start with, let's start with Iris. Iris, what is your real name?
Well, I'm Jel. I run the social medias for Reserve Inspiration. I play Iris in this campaign. She is a half elf barbarian. She's from the Winter Realm. She chose Path of the Totem Spirit. Her
And
totem
that's
spirit.
as far as we're going to go. We're not going to go any
Okay,
further. I want you to
for sure.
describe
For
more
sure.
of that a little bit later.
For sure.
Now, Panic.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Oh, that's it. All right. Hey.
Oh, hi.
Panic, also known as Kerry in real life, but we call her Panic. So
Yeah, I just got roped into this. I don't even know how, so I'm here.
Our apologies.
And finally, of course, we have Sarah, who plays Emmy in the main campaign, and she'll be playing
Ursula.
Wonderful. All right. So if we're all ready, I think we're just going to jump right in. We just
Do it.
Yep.
get a little water. All right. So this adventure, Feybies Recovery Service, not rabies and not Furbies, Feybies Recovery Service, is going to be starting out on a beautiful, warm summer's day in the Feywild, the summer realm to be exact. The sun is shining bright. It's a nice 85 degrees and dry. And you can, as you're kind of panning over this large city, you can see there's like these magical sparkles that just emanate throughout the air. You come down into the city of Solus, of the Summer Realm, home to mostly elves. There are a few other denizens that live there as well, but mostly elves. And as you're maneuvering through these streets, we come upon Iris. Iris, what are you doing right now?
Walking through the marketplace with the list, looking for supplies, replenishing stuff that we've used, things like that.
Okay, very good, very good. And you're getting supplies for your ship, correct?
Yes.
And what's your ship called?
Our ship is called Mikasa because we live there.
Wonderful. And just I'll give a quick brief description of your ship. It's kind of a similar design to Quill's from Guardians of the Galaxy. It's kind of bulbous up front with a large like glass area where you can see through for piloting. And it kind of tapers out in the back. But instead of like just a couple flat type wings, it almost has a bunch of fairy type wings as it is fey in nature. Mm-hmm. And it's very colorful in the back, kind of almost fluorescent, the wings as they move through space to propel you. But you guys need gas, you need fuel. And it's currently in short supply. Why? Because you don't really have a lot of money. It's been a bit since you've been on a mission. And yeah, funds are getting pretty tight. So you're currently moving through the marketplace to find the best deal on fuel that you can find. And I believe, Frett, are you currently with Iris moving through the streets?
Yeah, being a bard and in and out of taverns, I hear a lot with prices and everyday today things. So yeah, I'm along with my sister here, keeping an eye out.
Correct to say that you hear a lot. And on that note, while Iris is kind of shopping around and you're kind of poking your head around, listening to the crowd and the people as they walk by, give me a perception check, please.
Me as well, or just Emfret?
Just Emfret at the moment.
Okay. That is a 20, but not natural.
20 not natural. All right. As you're kind of moving through, you kind of pick up a little bit of a conversation that's being had. You hear this one guy, he's like, "Oh, have you heard the rumor about the ships? The ships that like crash landed nearby in a farming community. Creepy looking alien things." The other guy's like, "Huh? I haven't heard anything about that." "Oh yeah. The heat's currently heading out there to round them up. Real weird looking creatures though." "Oh, I'll be keeping my eye out." "I'm sure they'll be coming here sooner than later." That's what you pick up, Frett.
Noted.
Iris, you're trying to get the best deals. You head up to one of the mechanics who also offers fuel. You know this gentleman well, Gracken, and if you'd like, you can attempt to make some type of deal with him. It's completely up to you.
Alrighty. Sup, Gracken? What you got for me?
Hey, you need the fuel, right?
Of course, yes.
Well, if we're filling you up, any other repairs, or you just going with the fuel?
Just going with the fuel. We're in good condition for now.
You're going to fill up. Right, it's going to be 976 credits.
Anyway, we can cut that less.
Highly unlikely.
She's gonna like
Oh, there's a chance.
put her handle on her axe and be like, "You sure about that?"
Make an intimidation check.
Hey, you were trying to intimidate me in my shop.
Intimidation, where you at? $16.
My friend, you know it always works. All right, we can cut it down to about 700. No lower.
Do we even have that many credits?
You're getting low. You're probably about roughly 1,000 credits left in total.
Anyway, we can cut it down 300 more.
It is not possible. This is a lot of fuel, my friend.
All right, she's gonna put her hand on her great axe and be like, "You sure about that?"
Well, listen, if I give it to you any cheaper, I make no profit. And I need to make a profit to keep my shop going so you can come to me in the future for more fuel. What do you think this is? It's not a charity.
But we do give you some customers, don't we?
You do. That's why you're getting it for 700.
Maybe I can convince my brother to perform for you to attract a little bit of a crowd. Maybe they need fuel too.
well, this guy.
And he kind of points over to Frett, just like not paying attention to your conversation, but paying attention to some random stranger's conversation.
I don't know.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage because he's not really feeling it. He's given you a pretty good deal so far.
Sorry, me or?
Oh, that's Iris.
Okay.
That will be an 11.
11.
Listen, Iris, this is your final offer. You either take the 700 or you go elsewhere. I can't go any lower. I'm sorry. And if you would like your brother to perform, by all means, I can pay him a paltry sum.
All right, I'll take it for now.
Very good.
Then he puts out his hand and kind of gives it a good shake.
We'll have that sent over to your ship. And so it's a pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure as well.
Frett, what are you doing?
Well, I kind of heard that that ship's crashed.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking that there might be potentially something in it for us if it's a crash shift and if we are a recovery service.
That's
maybe
very true. Very true.
might be worth investigating. I'll head on over to Iris. Well, what'd you do here?
Just got us some fuel for our ship.
Oh, nice. How much?
700.
Oof. It
Yeah.
wouldn't go any lower.
Tried. I even offered to let you perform.
No.
Yeah, you might owe him a favor.
Wait, what kind of favor?
Performing.
Oh,
The best
right.
kind of favor.
Right.
You shut your
Obviously.
mouth.
No, of course. Anytime for a
And
benevolent factor.
those two people who were talking earlier, you see them, they're still kind of conversating. And out of the corner of your eye, you see kind of skulking from the shadows, a hooded figure. Kind of moves up, tall, lanky creature, moves up, and give me a perception check. Actually, yeah, perception. Give me a perception check.
Both of us or just
I think this is going to be M. Frett only because he was the one who was paying attention to this in the first place.
Okay.
17.
17. Yeah, as this lanky creature kind of comes out of the shadow, you can tell that they're intently listening to the conversation that's being had. And in their hands, they kind of pull out from their robes this rolled up parchment. And they start to skulk over to those two. And as they do, you see this glimmer of red skin underneath the hood. And they come over and he's like,
Either of you two seen the creature?
And kind of unfurls the paper. Give me an investigation check to see if you can make out what this creature looks like.
All right. Ooh, that's a 9.
9. Very difficult to make out. The one feature you do see is it has multiple limbs, like not just 2 arms and 2 legs. It seems to have a couple extra limbs, but you just get a quick flash of it. And then the 2 guys look at this and they're like, the one guy's like, I don't know, I haven't seen that at all. And the other guy says,
yeah, that's like those creatures that landed like not too far from here.
And the red skinned creature is like,
What? Where? Give a map.
and they're like, oh, well, we can kind of give you directions. And they start to kind of, give this creature directions. Just wanted to point that out to you.
Okay. I see where they're kind of pointing and giving the directions, like what area they're kind of pointing
Yeah,
to.
they're pointing out toward, actually, you're somewhat familiar with this area. Give me a history check.
Okay. Wow. Do I know the area? That's a 9.
Yeah, you know this city pretty well, but you haven't really left the surrounding area, the farming communities, anything like that. You obviously, the spring realm pretty well. That's where you grew up. But the summer realm has just been kind of a place that you've been hanging with your siblings ever since you started your business. So unfortunately, you're not really sure where they're pointing to, but it's somewhere out to the farming community.
Okay. All right.
Now, Iris and Emfret. Emfret, did you want to relay anything to Iris, or I know you said you wanted to go talk to her?
Yeah, I just wanted to let her know that I overheard some rumor and talk that there was a ship that went down.
Do you think there'd be anything of profit?
Well, people are always looking for spare parts. Can always get a pretty penny for them. And I'm sure shopkeep here wouldn't mind some extra business or things to sell. I'm sure he knows someone to get it to as well.
Always looking for good ship parts.
Ah, that's our man.
We can talk about it with Ursula and see.
Well, it looks like they're pointing down towards the farming community area. And there's some weird looking aliens, I guess, with them. Arms. Lots of arms.
All right.
If it seems like it's worth the money, or if there even is money involved, we'll keep it in mind.
Oh, I think there's always money. There's always money involved.
True. But if it's not worth it, then
Do we really have a choice right now?
Valid.
Though?
valid.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it with Ursula.
Sounds good. We shouldn't leave her alone too long. Alone for
Yeah.
too long. Yeah.
Yeah,
of
who knows what will
Ursula.
happen.
Speaking of Ursula, where are you and what are you doing?
I'm going to say that Ursula would have been looking for weird components like bits of leather, branches, gathering weird stuff, and then looking for some sort of violence.
Yes. You do know, you're familiar with this city well enough, at least. You come here to fuel up and get supplies and whatever else, revelry and such. You know that there is not a coliseum, but more of like I can't remember what it's called. Just like the dugout area where people kind of sit stadium style, look down. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, kind of like a stadium. But you know that they have generally, not every day, but a lot of times there are prisoners who are willing to fight for their life to be released. There's a champion and that they would have to defeat. And if they are able to, then they are free to leave and not be stuck in jail. And you heard rumor that there's a fight happening very soon.
Interesting.
As you leave,
She would
Peter,
be probably there.
all right. As you leave the shop and gathering your components and whatnot, Peter he's the owner. You've worked with him a few times. He's like, hey, the type of magic that you are doing, Ursula, just kind of, keep it on the down low. People don't really appreciate necromancy like some in these parts. So just, try to keep it to yourself for the most part. Don't want to see you getting put in the stocks.
What are you saying, Peter? Are you saying that I'm weird?
No.
She'll like strike her weirdest pose with whatever weird stuff she has on her.
Of course not. I totally understand your interest in such magics, and I just want you to be careful. I don't want to see any harm come to you.
Mm-hmm.
Who will be buying components from me if something terrible happened to you?
I can't possibly be your only customer.
You got me there. But just be vigilant. Don't let the heat see you practicing necromancy. And
Right.
you know the heat as to be like the police of Solus.
All right, so she'll just then take her things after paying and pull her cape up and just be like,
Goodbye, Ursula.
and creep backwards, just like.
So you head on over to the fights, the freedom fights, and you get there and there's already a big crowd. A lot of the seats have been filled in at this point, and you can just barely, especially since you're kind of on the shorter side, you can just barely make out the fight over the crowd. It sounds pretty exciting, but you're only catching punches and whatnot here and there. Anything you'd like to do?
Well, I'm surprised anybody would be that close to her anyways, but she's probably thinking of this as like an employment standpoint. Like if somebody's suddenly free, hey, you need a job, just creep out of nowhere. So if I'm tiny, then can I try and creep a little closer?
Yeah, you can kind of like start pushing under people's arms and like through the crowd and whatnot, and kind of just give me an acrobatics check to see how well you can maneuver.
That's a shame. Oh, okay. All right. So 17 plus nothing. So 17.
Wow, 17. Not bad. Yeah, you make quick work of it. You feel your spell book's getting kind of knocked back and forth as you're slamming into people as you're kind of maneuvering through. But yeah, easy enough. You're able to kind of make your way to the front of the crowd. And you can see there's this really skinny, kind of older, maybe like mid 60s guy, big scruff of a beard. And he is trying to fend off against the Colossus. This elf is massive. He's probably about 6'8", just rippling muscles, tan skin. He's currently not wearing any type of upper garments at all, just like a lower, almost like what the Romans wore back in the day for war. Almost looks like that skirt type thing.
She's not into muscles, so she's probably just going to go, gross.
And you see this other guy, he has a short sword. He's trying to lunge at this guy, and every time he tries to make a slash, just the hand gets knocked away, or he'll just get slammed in the face. And at one point you just see the Colossus, as this guy goes to stab forward, just grabs him by the throat before the sword can even reach his gut, just lift him up, and you hear just a slight and the body goes limp and falls to the ground. And the crowd just cheers in excitement.
Make the creepiest laugh she can.
And you see that one of the clerics who's there for this particular fight job to make sure that no one dies is now dragging this deceased body off of the field.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what to do about that. He wasn't a really good fighter, so not really interested.
All right. Well, while you continue to watch, another prisoner comes out, prepares himself. He grabs a shield and a spear and gets into position, and the battle begins again. And the Colossus, just no weapons. One point, the spear just kind of slams into his muscles on his washboard abs and just splinters the spear. Yeah, there's no beating this Colossus. Anyway, while you're enjoying the revelries, Ursula, Iris, you begin to start, as you and M. Frett are making your way back toward the ship, you begin to hear your comm going off. It's like a little just vibrating kind of sound.
Okay. I'm gonna grab it and hold it out.
Sure. All right. Yeah. Well, you kind of hold it out, and as you do, this hologram just kind of pops up, and you see a familiar face. You see Kryvis, who is a bugbear, and she is someone who has contacted you in the past for jobs, but it's been a while. And I actually have, for the audience to see, a beautiful photo, if I can find it, of Kravis. Nope, it's just going to be annoying. That's fine. There we go. You guys can also, I sent an email out earlier with a few different names of people. If you want, you can open up the link that says Kravis, and you can see what Kravis looks like.
Yeah, they definitely all opened for me, though.
Yeah, same.
On the email.
Oh, well. It is what it is. You get to see them all then. But here, I just now have it on cycle for the audience, so they should be able to see that momentarily, and you guys shall be able to see Kravis. She is adorned in these blue type robes, almost a metallic red, blood-like red that kind of runs up all the garments in the filigree. Very furry creature, big mutton chops, little spiked teeth that kind of stick out from the bottom, little tusks. And she's like, look at this. So it's Iris. How we doing, Iris?
What you got for me, and tell me it's good.
Well, there's the thing. So it's not one job. It's two jobs. All right. And one of the clients, she has her own person she goes to usually. However, they've been unreachable lately, and she's in need of a new group. I immediately thought of you guys. Immediately. There's no one else I would have thought of. So here's the thing. Are you by your ship? Can I send you some coordinates?
Will this one pay well?
Oh, do not worry about that. It is one of the highest paying jobs I've seen in quite some time. We split it 50-50 and we're good to go.
There's more of us. We should get more of the cut.
But I'm the one who's prospecting these leads for you. If I'm not doing this, you're doing nothing, right? So I got to get at least 50%. I'm working real hard over here.
Yeah. What about 25?
25 for you, 75 for me. That sounds fair.
No,
That sounds
25
fair.
for you, 75 for us. That way, all four of us each get 25% of the cut.
Oh, you with your maths and such. Make a persuasion check.
Yeah. $12.
All right. So the most I could do is I could take 40, you could take 60, and then each of you are getting 20. I think that's pretty fair. Especially since, not only did I drum up one lead for you, but I've now drummed up two.
That'll be acceptable.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. So are you at your ship yet?
No.
Well, could you get there and call me back? It just hangs up.
All right. I'm going to look over at M. Frett and be like, hey, bro, I got us a job.
Nice. What are we doing? Where are we going?
We need to go back to the ship after hopefully our sister is there, and we'll call back and get some coordinates.
All right.
Ursula, how long do you spend at the freedom fights?
Until she gets bored. So I don't know, not that long, maybe like a half hour. How much fighting can one person take? I mean, when it started with the neck cracking, I think she was already
Did Ursula place any bets?
Did Ursula have any credits on herself?
You probably had a credit chip with maybe like 20, 25 credits.
All right. So she would have bet at least 10 at some point on the elf, because obviously.
Yeah, you just, if you go for the elf, you double your money. If you go for the prisoner, essentially it's 10 times.
But everybody seems like an idiot. So
yeah,
she can tell that's not going to work.
All right, so
But I would have probably also been taking notes on how, pray tell, one might have beat that person in case you find yourself in that situation.
Ooh.
The bets are always sweeter when you know what the answer is.
So you see this prisoner come out with the spear, and you see it just get blasted off of this elf's chest, and the guy's looking around real scared. The elf just comes in and starts wailing. And the prisoner brings his shield up, and it's getting slammed down into the ground. He's able to get his spear and kind of jab up into the summer elf. And you see him kind of stagger back for a moment and then just come right back in. As he does, the prisoner rolls underneath his legs and gets to the back and kind of bashes his leg with the shield, knocking him down to one knee. Oh, boy. And then he jumps onto the back around the neck, kind of like around the elf, and is just trying to strangle him out. And this is where we're going to do a final strength check to see how that rolls. Oh. Ursula, you see this guy, the elf begins to kind of sway slowly, and you're getting worried. You're about to lose your 10 credits. But then this elf just both arms up, grabs the shoulders of the other guy, and just hucks him over his head into the wall, just slamming just brains everywhere of the prisoner as he just impacts the wall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brains everywhere. Okay.
And you are able to double your 10 to 20.
Excellent. So now I have about 30 credits.
Indeed. After some entertainment, you think it's probably time to head back to the ship?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't like being out long, especially in the summer. I wish I had a cape to like hold up in front of me. I'll work on that on the break.
Iris and M. Frett, you get to the ship first. And as you step onto Mikasa, I'd like you to each give a physical description of what your character looks like. And if there's any other little tidbits of information that you might want the audience to know ahead of time, now's the time to present it. So why don't we start with Iris?
Okay, so Iris, like I said, is half elf. She's 5 feet, so relatively shortish. She has a white death hawk that goes down to like her waist. She has 2 hand axes on her hips and then 1 great axe that is on her back. She keeps them on her at all times. She has violet eyes and piercings everywhere.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's Iris. And there's like a small bust image of Iris right next to you so everyone can kind of see. Fret, please tell us, Panic, please tell us about Fret.
All right. Well, I'm a spring half elf, and I am very tall and lanky, just skinny winny, basically noodle arms. I am not strong.
With a 5, definitely noodle arms.
Yeah, I am not strong at all. I am all talk, no bite. That's what I have Iris here for. I share some piercings along with her. I have my ears done and stuff, and I kind of look like a flashy kind of Peaky Blinders vibe going on with the way I dress.
Okay.
Yep. So, got to entertain a little bit, and it's eye-catching. I also have an overcoat that is reversible. It's just as flashy and kind of matches my bright reddish gold vest with green undertones. And then on the other side, it's dark, because I know sometimes situations can get kind of sticky with my 2 sisters, one being a short fuse and the other one not all there. And sometimes you just gotta peace out.
Yeah.
I like rocking a lute. I got a flute and a drum, and
A lute, a flute, and a drum. I
flute
like
and a
it.
drum. And those are my preferred instruments
All right.
to entertain with.
Very good. And I love your mustache.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So as the 2 of you step onto the ship, you have that the retractable kind of gangplank, if you will. You head up into your ship, kind of peer around for a bit. You notice that Ursula has not arrived yet. However, you do notice as you're walking inside, both of you have high enough passive perception. You do notice Poe, her little raven, kind of hanging out on top of the ship, just kind of surveying the area, keeping an eye out. So is there anything you'd like to do in the interim while you're waiting for Ursula to return?
Iris is gonna look at Poe and be like, hey, do you know where she's at? Wait, does that count as me? Because I have the ability speak to animals. Speak with animals.
Would you like to cast that?
Yes.
Okay.
So hey Poe, do you know where she's at?
Yeah, at the fights.
Oh, of course. Did she have any money on her?
A little bit.
Damn it.
He holds up his claws like this.
It's just just 2 little claws.
Alrighty. I'm gonna take out like some little seeds that Iris would carry with her, hold her little hand out to Poe and be like, here, thank you for relaying the information.
Poe just hops down onto your hand, starts pecking at your hand.
All right, cool.
All right. And as you're kind of sitting there with Poe and whatnot, you can you hear and feel the ship kind of shake a little as the fuel is being connected and is starting to be filled up at the moment. And it's not long before Ursula begins to make her way back, and Poe kind of hops off of your hand and flutters over and kind of lands on Ursula's shoulder and kind of perches and moves its feet around to get a good spot. Kind of just like looks around on Ursula's shoulder as she kind of skulks in.
Definitely skulking.
Yes. So the three of you have just made your way onto Mikasa, your ship. What would you like to do?
Iris is gonna look at Ursula and be like, "Did you waste anything?"
No.
Okay. How much of a profit?
I made 10 credits.
All right. Sweet. I got us a job.
Oh, interesting. I do like money. What are we thinking?
I have to call back and get coordinates. So now that she was reminded of that, she's going to pull out the crystal thingy and call back.
Okay. So you call back Krivus. And it's pretty quick. Only one ring and just, all right, good. You made it. You made it on your ship, I presume.
Yes.
Are you ready? Do you have a pen?
Yes.
All right. So here's the thing. There's two jobs, like I mentioned. Well, there's one job, but it's really two jobs. If you want to make it two jobs, it could be one, but you're going to make a little more money if it's two.
We'll go with more money.
Yeah. Oh, I knew you would. That's why I came to you. All right. So here we go, Iris and crew. Is the crew there? Are your siblings there?
Yes. My younger ones are here.
Hello, M. Frett.
What's up, Krivus?
Is it major or minor today?
Right now we're going with minor.
A little minor. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Keeping a low profile. I like it.
Yep.
Ursula, how are you, my weird friend?
I am.
You are. Okay. So here's the thing. There's this guy, and there's this group that's looking to rescue this guy from some other guys. So that's one thing. You're going to rescue a guy. Second thing, which is actually part of the first thing, is there's a device that has been designed by said guy. Okay. A device. Don't ask me what it does. They don't tell me these things. I don't want to know. But there's a device that he designed that you also need to retrieve. That's actually more important than getting a guy, in my opinion, because the job for the device pays a lot more than the job for the guy. Am I making any sense?
Yeah. But we kind of need the guy to get the piece.
You do and you don't, because, all right, here's the thing. So the client who's looking for the device, who wishes to remain anonymous, unless, you do a good job and they want you, all the time. And then we can definitely make that happen. But for now, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. They have provided blueprints to a laboratory that you're going to need to go into to find both of these things, this guy and this item. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So I'm sending the blueprints to you now. They're coming through. Can I get confirmation that you're willing to take on this job?
Yes. I
Yeah.
believe
Yes,
we
my
can
friends.
do it.
Yes, my friend Ursula. What you have some questions here?
I mean, to be fair, you're being extremely vague.
Yeah, you should know
As
this by
to
now.
what
I'm
they're looking
always
for and
extremely
where.
vague, Ursula. I'm always extremely vague. I never give you all the details because you wouldn't do the jobs half the time if I gave you all the details. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'll calculate it and get back to you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, so
So-
here's the thing. Here's the blueprints, and they start to start printing out some blueprints for you. And if you go to Roll20, you can see the blueprints for this particular place. And Rory is very angry.
Get it, Rory.
Yeah, so take a look at those blueprints for a quick second there.
I take it the red X is the treasure.
Yeah, the client who doesn't want to be known, who must not be named of sorts, they are aware of which rooms these things could be in. Specifically, which one in which room, they don't know. They just know that they're both there. But let me just tell you this. So we have the group that's looking for the guy. They're also looking for the device. They want the device too. However, you could just make something up. It broke. Whatever you need to say or do, because the other client is willing to pay double for the device. So it's like a twofer. You see where I'm going with this?
So you're pitting us against two different groups for money?
It's the name of the game, right?
I guess.
Do you really
And
have a choice?
I wouldn't be surprised if there's other mercenaries out there looking for this too. So keep your eyes peeled. This device is, from what I hear, quite pricey.
What kind of lab is this?
It's it's like a lab for all kinds of stuff. There's alchemy in the lab. There's tech design, weapons design. There's some biological mutating and such.
So normal lab stuff.
Normal lab stuff. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
The gentleman you're looking for is an orc. He goes by the name of Bork.
Orc the Bork. Love it.
I believe it's Borknork. Yes. Borknork. If you find him, keep him safe. And he should be able to show you where and what the device is, and get you out of there pretty quickly and hopefully safely.
Bork. All right. So private lab, or is this more of like one of them government run ones?
Well, it's I wouldn't say it's run by a government per se. It may be a shadow organization of said government.
Okay.
So it's risky.
It could be risky, but let me get to the price, because the price is going to make you swoon. All right, are you ready for this? So here, this is the reward. You get the guy. All right, 5,000 credits, easy. You get the device and the guy. That's 10,000. Or you get the device for the other client, and they give you 10 plus more as a bonus if no one is left to know who you are.
So leave no witnesses.
Well, yeah, you don't want this group chasing after you. Trust me. You want all of them.
If it gives us more money, I'm not completely against that.
Yeah, well, I can bargain. I'm sure that this client would be willing to give a little more, especially if I mention that there's other interested parties. Let me do some finagling. That's what I'm here for. You're here to get the items, so you do that. I'll work on getting you some more money and me some more money. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you're going to Mechanus, the planet Mechanus. It's pretty dangerous. So just, be on guard.
And just to be clear, you definitely haven't talked to any other specialized parties like ourselves. You haven't talked to anyone else about it.
I'm offended you would even ask that.
Oh, no offense meant,
I always, if there's a job that's worth this much, I always come to you first.
And I would
do an insight check.
Yeah.
You can. Please make an insight check, yes.
Wow, I got a 5.
Well, she hasn't steered you wrong yet.
All right.
You've had jobs through her before. Not a ton, but a few.
All right.
Yeah. Hard to read, especially through a hologram. All right, so we making some deals here? Are you heading out? What's the plan?
I believe we can head out.
Wonderful.
Question.
This is exciting news.
Do we
Hold
know?
on.
Do we know like Orknork? This dude. Any identifiable things about him besides just being an orc? I mean, is there?
Let me check my notes here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but orcs are pretty dumb.
Well, this guy, he designed a device.
Yeah, so this is one of the few orcs that I haven't even met him myself, but one of the few orcs that we're going to come across that have some brains to them. All right. He's probably going to be dressed up nice. He's a scientist, you know?
Mm-hmm. Orc in a lab coat. Got it.
Yeah. There's, looking at this roster here, there's about 12 scientists, but yeah, only one Borknork. You got some Genassis, you got, there's a few dwarves in there. Only one orc. All right, so are we done here? You gotta head to Mechanus. What's going on?
I'm good to go. Siblings.
What would I need? Yeah, what would I need to roll to see if I even agree with any of this? Does this sound terribly dangerous?
You can make another insight check if you'd like.
Yeah, 5.
5. It seems, what's her name? Krivis very rarely gives you all the details when you go on jobs for her. Sometimes that ends up hurting you. Sometimes there doesn't matter at all. You probably haven't received all the details, but from what they're saying so far, it seems pretty legit.
Great.
Have any of us been to Mechanus before? Or do we know anything about this planet?
Well, you tell me, have any of you been to Mechanus?
I don't know that I would have been there. I might have read about it.
Sure.
I don't think we've been there if we haven't had a mission there before.
Yeah. So in that case, everyone can give me a history check about Mechanus.
History. Oh, -1. 14.
14. Okay.
30-20.
Solid 8.
Solid 8. All right. So Ursula and it was Iris. You had a 14. You said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Iris, you don't know a ton about Mechanus. You just know what you've heard in passing from people at the bars and whatnot about other traveling merchants and mercenaries and such. Apparently, the planet is like the crust of the planet is encased with massive gears, and the gears, almost like clockwork, move and keep churning the center of the planet to keep it like a plasma, like a liquid, so that it doesn't solidify and kill the planet. So that their civilizations or cities and whatnot have been built on top of these massive gears, leaving the teeth alone. That's kind of where you're able to pass through to the next gear is by when they meet together. That's your one chance before the whole thing. It takes, for it to go around again. So, that's made of gears. Ursula, you would also know that the weather is rough there because there's so much smog from all the industry. The the planet itself is rich in different types of metal ore and gems, and different stones and whatnot that are rare. So there's a lot of mining, there's a lot of industry. And over the years, it has just polluted the planet horribly, where there are terrible orange lightning storms, and it rains acid on occasion. So when it's bad weather, you may want to stay indoors. It's also a place where the rugged, rough and tumble go to reside. It's a pretty rough area. A lot of pirates, a lot of villainous type people.
This
That's
is
what you
an
read.
awful idea.
You read all about Mechanus in a couple books over the years. And it's actually not too far away from where the Feywild lies. You do have to pass through the Earth elemental realm, but it's not too far on the opposite side of that.
I don't think this is going to be easy.
Do you want to put it to a vote then? 2 against 1?
No, fine. We'll do it. Just don't say I didn't warn you. She's going to scurry away from the room.
Yes, she is. All right.
Iris is gonna look at her and be like, "Don't worry, sis, I'll keep you safe."
All right, I like it.
Like, this is normal. This is completely normal. Totally fine.
So Krivus is like, all right, so good. We're all good here. This is, you're gonna take this job. I can relax and breathe easy, knowing that you're on it.
Yes.
It's good to know. Good to know. All right, reach out if you have questions. I don't know that I'm going to be much help. I only got a few details from the clients. But yeah, definitely if you can get those two, and maybe don't even tell Borknork that you got the device. Try to keep that a secret. You can just say it got destroyed or something,
Just to let you know, if any of us gets hurt, we're taking more of the cut.
All right, well, that's a new negotiation. All right, I would probably give you a little extra because I'd feel bad, but
Right.
no, I can't be giving up too much. I've got a lot riding on this as well.
Right.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, totally understandable, Krebs. We're both business people here. You and us, and I was just wondering, so perhaps we can get a small advance on this, knowing that, you already have someone lined up. Good business, you always give a little bit up ahead. So I'm sure you've collected a little something for your troubles just to find a recovery team such as us. Is there any way that maybe we could get a little bit of an advance? Not all of it, but a little something for our trouble. Mechanus, as my sister here has told us, is risky. We need to prepare.
She's not wrong. It's any planet you go to that you're unfamiliar with is going to be risky. Mm-hmm. All right. Give me a persuasion check, by the way.
Okay. $18.
Yeah, M. Frett, you are the kind of bargainer that I like. All right. I see a little bit of myself in you. I think I could probably give you a bit of an advance, knowing that you're good for it, obviously.
We ever done you wrong?
Well, there was that one time.
Okay, that was
in the Beastlands.
Yeah,
that was a rough one. Oh, but then there was that other time in Arborea.
Oh, what?
1,000 credits. We'll put 1,000 up on the table. If you fail me, well, I can hunt you down. If you don't fail me, then it's already yours.
There we go. Deal.
All right. So I'm hanging up now. I'm going to reach out to the other client, see if we can get a little bit more of the moolah. And I'll be in touch.
All right.
Goes
All right.
down. So you're all just sitting there in Mikasa? Oh, and
Yeah.
one thing to let the audience know, since no one mentioned it, is it's Mikasa is written very elaborately on the side and very what's the word I'm thinking of here? Just it's a beautiful script. And then underneath it in parentheses it says no es su casa. Because it's no one else's house. It's not your house.
It's our house.
All right. So what is the plan of the Feybies?
Oh. Well, given we know more the nature of the environment we're going into, might be worth stocking up on some potions, sorts, acid rain. I know my very fair skin does not do well with an acid peel, so I can't do that, you guys. This is the moneymaker, you know.
We can go on another supply run. Thank you for
Yeah.
the negotiation of the advance.
Money.
All right. So what are a few things that you guys want to pick up at stores? We don't have to role play that. We can just pick up whatever items you need. I'll give you a basic cost.
I feel like potions are definitely going to be needed.
Mhm.
Sure. Are you looking for basic healing potions? You're looking for greater healing potions?
A little bit of both, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Sure.
Yeah.
So you got the graders are 350, and the regular are 50 a piece. So it's up to you. You have 1,000. We'll say 1,300 credits at the moment because you had 300 left after fueling.
And the
then-
10 that Ursula won.
Yeah,
the
well,
bets.
30. She's got 30 on her.
Yeah.
I would say you each have like a little bit of your own funds, probably, no more than 50 credits of your own.
Okay. You said 50 for regular and how much for the graders?
350 for the grader.
350.
Yeah, it's expensive out here.
50. All right. Maybe
Are there any potions that protect against acid?
like elemental
Acid resistance. Yes, of course.
I feel like if we're ever caught outside, that would be useful to have.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's those are about 100 a piece if you would like to purchase some of those.
300 right there.
Well, it cuts the damage in half. So if you're taking acid damage, up to you.
All right.
And actually, for you, if you're raging, you'd take a quarter damage if you drank that from the acid.
All right.
Up to you.
Probably gonna have to. I don't know. Do you think we'd have to like look the part to get into this place, laboratory, or at least to pass around on the surface?
I'm sorry. I wasn't listening. What?
Oh,
If we would need to disguise ourselves to get in.
yeah. If we're going into a lab facility, I'm not sure really. We look too much of the part.
I was kind of figuring that we would muscle our way in.
Yeah. Do that.
I'm sure there's a smarter way.
You two are the brains. You can come up with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the blueprints. Ursula takes the blueprints and starts reading them and trying to figure out where we need to go.
Actually, Ursula, with your passive investigation being as high as it is, you have what, a 14, 15, something like that?
14.
14? With it being so high, as you're looking at this blueprint, you're kind of like unfolding it on the table and whatnot. You notice that there's some sort of initials at the very bottom of the blueprint, possibly from the contractor.
Wait, should I be able to see that? Why?
Yeah, it should be at the very bottom. Actually, I'll put it up on the screen for our viewers as well. Oh, you know what? You can't because I have it hidden. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Let's
Just-
say I can't see.
Yeah. Where is it hiding? There we go. All right, but yeah, bear with me one moment. I'm gonna go to my screen and unhide it. Okay, it should be popping up now. The bottom left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'm gonna switch it out for the audience as well. So this is the symbol or the signature or initials that the party sees. Well, actually Ursula sees.
Do I know what that means? Like,
Um,
if by looking at it, I'm just seeing NMF, but
yeah, give me a give me a you know what, give me a history check. It's gonna be a disadvantage though.
lowest was 11, which is an 18.
18. Wow.
I'm smart. I'm wicked smart.
Looking at these particular initials, it's either an NMF or maybe it's like that N is actually like doubling as another M with the long tail that's there. It's difficult to make out specifically, but you can't quite put your finger. You can't think of anyone with those initials that you've come across at the very least in the past. Not even with an 18. That's how much higher of a roll you needed. Yeah. But yeah, so you see those initials, you see the blueprints. Have at it.
All right.
What did you guys want to do for the potions?
I know we're gonna at least need 3 of the elemental ones or the acid ones.
Okay, so that's 300.
Maybe we can double up on some regulars,
We're
each of us, and then
going to get hurt, so we would need some.
At least 2 of the greater. It's gonna hurt us, but
All right, so you just let me know a running tally when you've got it, and I will, well, let me know what you want, and I'll give you a running tally.
But I mean, to be fair, we could just spend it all on these things, because if we're dead, then
yeah, no.
you can't really find us.
I mean,
I would like us to be amongst the living.
I can't guarantee that, but
And then as you're all kind of discussing this about what you want to get for potions and whatnot, you can hear something printing off of your little printer machine by the cockpit. And you see 2 contracts print out with lines for each of you to sign.
Are they from the from each of the jobs, right?
This is typical for Krivis. Krivis usually sends you contracts for signatures. They're magically binding. They bind you to the contract.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
Well, Iris already agreed with it, so she's just gonna grab it and sign.
Yep. Let's see if I can get a full shot. This gets smaller. There we go.
yeah, and I'm here for a good time, not a long time, so I'll sign it too.
All right, very good. All right, audience, I got a little bit of a blueprint thing for you. Okay. So, what have you decided on for potions?
Well, if we're just gonna spend it all, is that 2 graders,
Okay.
at least 3 of the acids?
Okay. You got 300 left.
We
you
can
want-
do 3 of the smaller ones and then hold on to the extra credits for in case of like we need food or anything like that.
So we have 150 then plus my 30 plus whatever anybody else has in their pockets.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so divvy up those potions however you'd like. You can add them to your inventory.
Okay. It's always good to have some bribe money on hand just in case.
You never know.
You never know.
So that your ship gets fueled up, you grab the supplies you need, and you begin to take off and start to head toward Mechanus. And you can be planning and deciding what you want to do along the way. And with that being said, I think we're going to end today's session right here. Nice little starting session we had. See if we can get some action next time. But yeah, thanks for watching. And our next episode will be playing the same time next week.
Yeah.